The night my family decided to welcome me back, they ordered oysters flown in that morning, gold leaf desserts, and a bottle of champagne that cost more than my first car payment. Then my uncle leaned across the table and said, "You've done well for yourself. You can handle this." That was the moment I understood. This wasn't a reunion. It was an invoice. My name is Marcus Hale. I'm 35, and I work in corporate finance for a hospitality group that audits luxury restaurants across the East Coast. I don't cook the food. I don't pour the wine. I analyze margins, supplier contracts, and operating risk. I know exactly what things cost, which is why I knew 10 minutes after sitting down at that oceanfront restaurant that the table had already crossed $5,000. They hadn't even ordered dessert. 3 years earlier, I'd said no to co-signing a private loan for my older brother's construction startup. No paperwork, no refund schedule, just family trust. When I asked for a business plan, my father called me selfish. When I declined, my mother said I'd forgotten where I came from. After that, the calls stopped. Holiday invitations disappeared. I wasn't disowned. I was erased. So when my mother texted in early spring, "We've all grown, let's have dinner, just immediate family," I agreed, not because I trusted them, because I needed to see if anything had changed. The restaurant was called the Mariner's Room, floor-to-ceiling windows facing the harbor, soft jazz, waitstaff in pressed white jackets. I walked in expecting 4 people. I saw 14. A long rectangular table near the glass, my parents, my brother, 2 uncles, 3 cousins, spouses, just my aunt's neighbor. Every seat filled except one, mine. They were already halfway through appetizers. My mother stood and hugged me like a politician greeting donors. "Marcus, look at you." My father clapped my shoulder hard enough to sting. My brother didn't stand, he just lifted his glass. "Good to see you, banker." The table was covered in crushed ice platters, king crab legs, imported oysters, caviar tins open and scraped clean, 2 bottles of Dom Perignons sweating in silver buckets. I sat down slowly. I hadn't ordered a thing. The waiter approached me. "Would you like to start with champagne, sir?" "Still water, please." "Nothing else." He hesitated, then nodded. Conversation flowed without me, stories I wasn't part of, jokes built over 3 silent years, subtle references to tough times and sticking together. Every few minutes, someone mentioned my job. "Must be nice traveling first class. Finance must pay well. Bet you eat like this all the time." Each comment was light. Each comment carried weight. I did the math automatically. 14 adults, premium seafood, top-tier champagne, market-price entrees still coming. 6,000, maybe more. My father ordered another bottle without looking at the list. "Put it on the tab." He said it loudly. Then he looked at me. "You've been gone 3 years. Consider this a reset. You can take care of it." The table moved quietly. 14 faces. Waiting. I nodded once. "Let me speak with the manager." Relief spread across the table like heat. My mother exhaled. My brother smirked. They thought I'd folded. They thought history was repeating. It wasn't. The floor manager introduced himself as Elena, mid-40s, composed, observant. "How can I assist you, sir?" I kept my voice level. "I'm not hosting that table. I won't be responsible for the bill. Please present it directly to the individual who made the reservation." She checked her tablet. "Reservation is under Thomas Hale." My father. "Perfect. Second, I'll close out my water separately now." She studied my face for half a second, long enough to understand everything. "Of course." My total was $8. I left a $100 tip. Not to be generous, to be precise. When I returned to the table, dessert was being served. Molten chocolate dripping over spun sugar domes. Port wine poured into crystal glasses. My father smiled at me. All good? All good. The check will be here shortly. The leather folder arrived 5 minutes later. Elena placed it gently in front of my father. Not in the center, not near me, in front of him. Conversation stopped. My father blinked once. He pushed the folder toward me. She must have misunderstood. No, she didn't. It's under your name. A faint crease appeared between his eyebrows. Just put your card in. I didn't move. I'm not covering it. The silence thickened. My brother leaned forward. Don't be dramatic. I'm not. My uncle cleared his throat. It's just dinner. Exactly. My mother's smile faded. Marcus, this is about healing. No, this is about payment. And I'm not the bank. My father opened the folder and glanced at the total despite himself. His jaw tightened. He slipped his credit card inside and handed it to Elena without looking at anyone. We waited. No one touched their dessert. Elena returned. Mr. Hale, I'm sorry, that card was declined. My father straightened. Run it again. She did. Declined. A third card emerged from his wallet. The air felt thinner. Elena returned once more. I'm afraid this one is also not processing. The words landed softly. The impact wasn't. My mother's face drained of color. My brother whispered something I couldn't hear. My uncle avoided eye contact with everyone. 14 adults who had just eaten $6,000 of food suddenly stared at the tablecloth like it contained answers. My father looked at me. You knew this would happen. No, I knew you expected me to fix it. That's different. My brother stood abruptly. So you're just going to let this happen? I kept my tone even. I didn't order this. I wasn't told about it. You decided I would pay. That decision was yours, not mine. My mother's voice trembled. We're struggling. That was the first honest sentence of the evening. I softened slightly. If you needed help, you could have asked, not trapped me. My father's fist clenched on the table. We shouldn't have to ask our own son. You cut me off for 3 years. You said I wasn't part of this family. Now I'm useful again. That's not reconciliation. That's strategy. Elena stood quietly beside the table, composed. I addressed her calmly. Please give them time. I've settled my portion. She nodded and stepped back. My brother muttered, You're humiliating us. I shook my head. No. You tried to corner me in public because you thought I wouldn't say no in front of witnesses. You miscalculated. The room felt unbearably quiet. Other diners pretended not to look. My father lowered his voice. Help us this once. And then what? Another dinner? Another emergency? Another guilt trip? I leaned forward slightly. If you need real help, I'll meet you tomorrow. We'll go over your finances. We'll build a plan. But I will not reward deception. My mother began to cry. Not loudly, just enough. Marcus, please. I met her eyes. I love you, but I won't finance this anymore. My father pushed back his chair slowly. His confidence was gone. What are we supposed to do? That was the question beneath every performance. I answered honestly. Pay the bill. Work it out with the restaurant. Call the bank. But don't expect me to absorb it. The illusion shattered in small movements. My uncle quietly transferred money from his phone. My brother stepped outside to make a call. My cousins whispered about splitting charges. The feast turned into fractions. The celebration turned into calculation. Exactly what it should have been from the start. I stood. I wasn't angry, just finished. This didn't have to happen.
My father didn't respond. My mother avoided my eyes. My brother looked at me like I'd betrayed him. Maybe I had. Maybe I'd betrayed the role they assigned me. I walked toward the exit. Behind me, chairs scraped. Voices overlapped. The manager spoke softly about partial payments. The harbor lights shimmered through the glass. Outside, the night air felt clean. In the parking lot, I sat in my car and let the silence settle. My phone vibrated repeatedly. Family group chat notifications, accusations, shock, anger. I muted it. 3 weeks later, my mother called, not to yell, to talk. They had taken out a small loan to cover the restaurant balance. My father had sold equipment from his failing business. They were downsizing. She said they should have asked. She didn't apologize directly, but she said it differently. I offered again. Let me help you restructure. No traps, no public spectacle, just honesty. We met at a coffee shop 2 months later, just the four of us. No oysters, no champagne, just spreadsheets. For the first time in my adult life, we discussed money without manipulation. I didn't pay their debts. I helped them understand them. There's a difference.
That night at the Mariner's Room wasn't about $6,000. It was about control, about expectation, about whether love in my family came with a receipt. I refused the receipt, and somehow that was the first honest payment I ever made.